Well, it's not just tax reform for President Bola Tinubu. Digital economy is also receiving attention, and that's why this morning we're going to discuss some of those innovations to push Nigeria's digital economy forward. And it's going to be a robust conversation today when we talk about the digital economy. But first, let's head to Abuja, where the Director General of the National Information Technology Development Agency, NITDA, Mr. Kashifu Abdullahi, joins us from there. Good morning, Mr. Abdullahi. Thank you for your time.
Good morning, Ini. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so the world has gone digital. So if we have to do anything, if Nigeria wants to move forward, we have to do digital. And we do have a Minister of Digital Economy, but you are also a policy maker when it comes to digital economy. Talk to us about some of the reforms that we are expecting or we are seeing, and the expected results of these reforms when it comes to digital economy in Nigeria.
So 24th of October has been designated as the Digital Nigeria Day, and we are going to celebrate our success in the digital economy coming 24th of October to 26th of October. And under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration, at the core of the renewed hub agenda are inclusive economic growth, productivity, and prosperity for all. So to achieve this result and realize this agenda, Nigeria will need to embrace and leverage the power of digital economy. Because according to Statista, in 2018, digitally transformed enterprises contributed $13.6 trillion to the global GDP. And it contributed $44 trillion last year in 2022. And it is projected to contribute $53.3 trillion this year. Therefore, digital transformation is key to the global economic growth. And the president has mandated our ministry to accelerate Nigerian economic diversification by enhancing productivity in critical sectors through technological innovation. So to achieve this mandate, our minister, the Honorable Minister for Communications, Innovations and Digital Economy, Dr. Bosun Tijani, unveiled strategic plan for the ministry. The strategic plan has 5 strategic pillars. Firstly, knowledge, because knowledge is the foundation upon which countries build a robust and sustainable economy. Secondly is policy, because it is based on the policy that enable environment we can be able to innovate and thrive in digital economy. Thirdly is infrastructure, which provide the backbone for the digital economy. And fourthly is about innovation, entrepreneurship, and capital, because innovation is the engine for economic growth. And that's what drives economic growth and prosperity in any sector. And lastly, but not the least, is trade. How can we trade what we have, especially our human capital? Because in Nigeria, our human capital is our greatest resource. So we want to position Nigeria as a global talent net exporter.
All right, so you said a whole lot of things there, but I would just like to follow up from here. At the just concluded IMF World Bank meeting, Africans were challenged to look inwards because what the Western world, what the developed countries need are in Africa, and yet we cannot seem to use. For instance, you talked about the young innovators, the young people who have the brain, the human resources. What are the intentional steps? We do understand that we have policies. We do understand that policy statements have been made, but those do not automatically translate into action. Neither do they translate into the fruits. I mean, if you go to Computer Village here in Ikeja, you have a lot of brains. And some of them, because they are not used positively, they are not challenged to use their gift positively, they go negative. What are some of those intentional steps to meet up with these young brains? We have a lot of apps that can be created to solve Nigerian problems or Africa's problem. So what is different now, really? What are those steps to reach out to these young innovators and capture them into the system?
So talent is the human component of technology. And according to Conferry, by 2030, there will be 85 million talent deficit globally. All developed countries will have this deficit because of aging. And that deficit will result to $8.5 trillion unrealized annual value. You can see talent is a huge market. And aging is affecting talent in the Western countries. While in Africa and Nigeria, we have young population and we are naturally talented. So looking at this, we can position Nigeria to become the global talent factory. And also, according to PwC research called Nigerian Brands Export, the optimal path to developing Nigerian economy. The report analyzed the Nigerian talent and the youthful population and how we can position Nigeria to become global talent net exporter. So looking at this, the ministry formulated policy and design initiatives which were launched by the Honorable Minister, Dr. Bosun Tijani, on Monday. One of these initiatives is 3 million tech talent program. So we intend to train 3 million Nigerians on tech talents. And before starting this training, we have conducted skills gap assessment where we identified skills in demand globally and locally. So based on that skills in demand, we have identified 12 skills in demand locally and globally. Based on that, we are training our youth on these skills. And the program is designed to have 1.5 million work for the local market to meet our demands locally, and position 1.5 million to work remotely, means live in Nigeria but work for international organizations. That can also earn forex for us. So the program, we have launched it, and the idea is to create an ecosystem, not just to train people, but after training them, we connect them with jobs. The call for application is we are calling for the fellows, the people that want to be trained to register. We are calling for the training providers also to register. We are also calling for partners, development partners, subnationals, governments, state governments, and local governments to be part of it as well. Then we have placing organizations that place this talent with jobs locally and internationally. So the ecosystem will be created to meet our local talent demands, because every country needs to be digitally independent for it to survive. We cannot depend on any country to build our digital services and offerings. That's why we are training this talent. But looking at our youthful population, as well as the high demand for talent globally, we think also we can position ourselves to be the global net talent exporter because we have the competitive advantage over any country in the world you can mention. Today, India is leading when it comes to talent export.
Okay.
But we have more advantage over the India in terms of our accent. We have better accent, we have better time zone, and we have younger population than India.
All right, Mr. Abdullahi, I believe this, we're going to hear more about this at your conference. I know you're having a conference, Digital Nigeria conference, that is on next week. I believe this will be part of the agenda.
Yes, the conference is designed to provide a dynamic platform to bring innovators, industry leaders, government officials, tech experts, and tech enthusiasts to come and network, connect, engage in conversation that can lead to policies, regulations that can help the ecosystem to grow, as well as that can be a source of inspiration for innovators to bring their ideas to life. And it can also give us global visibility for the Nigerian ecosystem. We're expecting huge delegation from the international community, from the Europe, from the US, and Asia. So also it will serve as an opportunity for our innovators and startups as well to come and display their products and brands for investors to invest.
All right. Thank you so much, and we wish you the best. We certainly would like to see a lot of collaborations and connections, you know, at that conference that will eventually yield some programs or application that will help Nigeria. Thank you so much for your time. Director General, National Information Technology Development Agency, that's leader, Mr. Kashifu Abdullahi.